What's up, guys? Before this episode starts, just want to let you guys all know that you should follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Spitballz Pod. Should be right there. And also, you can find the full videos, full episodes on Spotify and YouTube at Spitballz. And in this episode, we did forget to make our college football national championship predictions during the college football segment, but we remembered at the end, so they're at the end, not in the college football section. So yeah, enjoy.
What's up, Spitballz fans? Welcome back.
Spitballz fans, welcome back. Another episode of the
New
greatest
video today.
podcast to ever scrape the internet. Today we got a load of topics to talk about, including the 6 New Year's bowls and some NFL talk. Some controversy going on in the league right now. Our first topic is what, Frank?
I don't know. Whatever it is going to make me upset. So
It's 2020.
Let's talk about how much of a
we-
disappointment Ohio State football is year after year.
I was gonna say, like, to start
They
the
should be
show,
winning that
we should
title.
just go over Frank's worst weekend of his life in sports. Just like recap it real quick.
all right.
So Friday, South Carolina
Friday's the one I'm
was
least mad about.
what, like a 14-point lead.
All right, we were up by 14 at half, but
The
you know
school,
what?
the school,
Notre
the school
Dame
you
is obviously
the
a more
school you
talented
attend
team.
blew a 14-point lead in a bowl game. You know that just starts it off.
Notre
We're
Dame's
gonna-
obviously a more talented team. We had a couple lucky plays in the beginning. And we were playing without a lot of key players. So that one doesn't upset me as much as the rest.
Okay, so then
I'm proud of how we played. It's hard
move
to
on to
beat
Saturday.
Tennessee, Clemson, and Notre Dame 3 games in a row. Yeah.
Move on to Saturday. Frank's lifelong college football team, rooting for them since he was born. They come back and then they fold. They fold in the
Ohio
fourth
State,
quarter.
Michigan don't deserve to be
And
in the college football
and
playoff.
they lose to the biggest underdogs in college football playoff history. And
All right. Is this
how did that make you feel?
is this where I can talk?
Yeah,
I feel like that's definitely not true.
Yeah,
No,
Washington.
no, like
Washington was
preseason.
They were the
definitely-
biggest
Preseason.
underdogs to ever make the finals. They're 200 to 1
That's-
underdogs to make.
that's it. I know.
All right. In this game, it was, first of all, the entire playoff as a whole, obviously the most closest teams that we've ever had in the playoff, which is all in all, New Year's Eve, probably one of the greatest days for college football ever. There were some very, very
he's gonna complain about the
questionable
refs.
moments of that game. When you lose a game by 6 points,
It's always refs versus Frank.
and you scored a touchdown that they just took off the board in a way that they called it a touchdown on the field.
Dude,
To me, it
the
looked
ball has to
pretty
cross the
clear that
goal
he
line.
scored it, and they just took it off
ball
because they want to make the game about
All you had to
themselves.
do is get 1 yard.
I know, but that's, again, they spotted the ball wrong to begin with, which is horseshit in itself.
That
they
you can argue
took
it,
2
but,
yards from us, and
yeah.
then they took a 3rd yard from us. So you just they shouldn't have to get that yard. They got all the yards they needed. Stop saying that they just need to get 1 more yard, because they got all the yards they needed to score. And then the refs were like, no, we're going to take it away from you and make you do more than you have to do. So while, yeah, they started really terribly and shouldn't have had to come back from that much, they had zero help from the referees whatsoever. And it really kind of, the game could have been a 1-point game. And then, I know, again, people are bitching about the targeting too at the end. That one doesn't make me as angry, because the play was already over and we still would have had 25 seconds to go 50 yards. That one with no timeouts, whatever about that one. It was targeting, but whatever about that one. But they took 6 points away from us in a 6-point game. They just took them off the board.
Michigan
they took it off when we scored it. It was that makes me very angry.
If Michigan needs help from the refs to win the game,
no, they don't need help from the refs. They need the refs to call a fair game. They need the refs to call a fair game.
I don't know, man. Their defense just totally.
The first play of the
Decided not to
game,
be
you get
good.
a 6-yard run and you don't get any points off of it on that drive.
You can't depend on the refs, man.
It's typical
It's not
football.
depending on the refs.
Eliminate-
They have to not
eliminate
take a
big
touchdown
plays.
away when you scored it. It's
They didn't
asking
eliminate
the
the
refs
big
to do their
plays.
job. I would have
Or
loved to
is-
hear the referees in a press conference after the game answer for that horse shit call.
Is the game gonna go the exact way it went just with the touchdown? Like
No,
know
you
what's gonna
don't
happen after
know.
that.
But when you
I think
lose
that's
by
just like-
6 and they take 6 points off the board, it's incredibly frustrating.
I think that's just the Michigan culture, like folding in big games.
They just look for other places to blame instead of on themselves and what they
Like,
can
They
do.
view
They
they
great
view
balls.
the Ohio State game as like their win all be all, and then when
Yeah.
they get to the playoff, they just suck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
It
play.
was,
They
it's not like we
play
lost
for
by
the regular
30.
season.
We lost by 6.
We
6
still
points.
You probably should have lost by like 20.
The story of that
You
game
can't say
is,
we should have lost by
ladies and
20.
gentlemen, eliminate the big plays. Don't let the big plays happen. The big plays kill, and it killed them.
Thanks, Tess.
So
TCU actually lives and dies by the big play. So, I don't
So
wanna
after
hear it.
after that Michigan game, Frank was already beaten down pretty bad this weekend. And then Saturday at New Year's, he proclaimed 2023 to be the year of Frank. And this started out with his Washington Commanders going into Cleveland with a chance to clinch a playoff spot. Now,
It
how
was
did
actually,
that
I'm pretty sure it was a home game.
go? Okay, whatever.
the Commanders
How did-
need to
how did
fire
that
Ron
go?
Rivera. They need to fire Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
And they
What
need to
Tess said. He has outlived his stay in Landover, Maryland.
The QB changes never work. They
No,
never
here's
work.
Here's what I'm gonna
Especially
Two
when you're
football
fighting for a
teams
playoff spot, they
were
never work.
eliminated from the playoffs.
That's why
in the
I
same
say.
weekend.
That's why I say that the Jets should have never benched Zach Wilson.
It's the same.
They should have never done
Yes.
that because it never helps. the
Taylor
team in
Heineke-
any way.
Dude,
You're
benching a
never gonna play
quarterback,
better.
jumpstarts teams so often.
No. Taylor
No, for the
Heineke,
first game, they play so well.
Carson
with a
in the
backup
5
quarterback.
games Carson Wentz has started. I'm pretty sure we scored less points in all 5 than all of the rest
No,
of the games
that
Taylor
I see,
Heineke
but like,
started.
there's a lot of
It was-
cases where you
it was a
bench your
brainless
quarterback and try
decision from
something
the
new
start.
and you win the game.
It was a brainless decision from the start. Taylor Heineke starts that game. I think we win. Without a doubt, I think we win that game. The Browns are not a good football team. Like that was if you want to make the playoffs, you have to beat the fucking Cleveland Browns.
Ron Rivera also didn't
17 at
know
home.
that he didn't know
Ron
that this
Rivera is a
game was
dumbass.
was
Scott Turner's
an
calling
elimination
fucking
game.
triple reverses on 4th and 1s. He's got the fucking he's got the fucking 10-pound third down running back in on 4th and 1 when Brian Robinson literally carries people for 5 yards every play. The whole coaching staff needs to go. I can't believe they made it out of the building on fucking Sunday. The owner needs to, like, Dan Snyder's got to sell the team. When Jay-Z buys the fucking team, he has to fire Ron Rivera. He has to fire Scott Turner. He has to fire Jack Del Rio. He needs to go get a new fucking quarterback. He needs to hire a offensive-minded, young, not incompetent coach. And we need to, I honestly think we need to draft a quarterback because signing these fucking recycled, bum, injured, terrible quarterbacks never fucking works. I don't want Derek Carr. I don't want Tom Brady. I want a fucking new quarterback that's going to bring excitement to the franchise. I don't want fucking Jimmy Garoppolo.
I
don't want the same
Yeah.
shit over and over again.
The Commanders need to make like a draft day move.
Yeah.
Like
I
move
think
up.
that just shows like how poverty the Commanders.
When was the last time the Commanders like brought their own quarterback?
Fucking Robert Griffin III.
Well,
The
that's
Commanders
it.
have a lot of good D linemen. They could use one of them as a trade piece. I feel like
Was Alex Smith them or no?
same group of D linemen for years.
Chiefs.
Oh, Chiefs, yeah. I'm retarded.
49ers drafted Alex Smith.
I thought he went to
Yeah,
the Chiefs
they came
after the
from the
Commanders for a second.
No, he was the fucking,
I meant Kirk
he was
Cousins.
Patrick Mahomes' mentor.
I meant
You got
to
that
ask about Kirk Cousins. Who drafted Kirk
Oh yeah, we
Cousins?
drafted Kirk. Same year as
Okay.
RG3.
Interesting.
No, when you guys were off, hanging out without me last night, I was sitting on my couch thinking, and this is a joke. I was busy, but I was sitting on my couch and I had a vision of Anthony Richardson in a Commanders jersey, and
What a
I got
vision.
really excited. So I think you bring in a new offensive-minded coach, and under the right coaching, I think Anthony Richardson could be the guy that my 8-year-old cousins are watching drunk highlights of at 3 a.m. when they're in college. Like,
Dude,
he
Frank
could be
just
that
sits on his
guy.
couch and has visions of NFL players.
I did. What was I supposed to do? You guys were off having fun without me. I was in my own home, depressed on my couch at 1 a.m. and I had a vision of Anthony Richardson leading this. He doesn't have to be good. He just has to be exciting. I just want exciting quarterback play. I want a team that I am excited to watch every Sunday, that when I turn on my TV, it's not just misery and agony for 3 hours every Sunday.
Yeah, I mean
And
that's what it was for the
can be
past
that
6
guy.
years to the Giants.
What?
Pretty much been that for the past 10 years for the Jets.
I know. Which is why,
Like we
honestly,
watch misery and agony.
first of all,
I can't. I literally can't take it.
can't take it. If Jay-Z buys the Commanders, instantly way more attractive place to be.
Why? How does that affect the player at all?
No, it affects just the culture as a whole. No one wants to be in a Dan Snyder run organization.
Not
No
to
one.
go to Maryland.
People, especially like Jay-Z,
Play at
is like
FedEx.
an icon. Like people would want to play in an organization that's owned by Jay-Z. Then you hire like
I don't know. I don't know if that really affects their decision making.
no, there's a lot of steps that have to be done for them to be good next year. A lot. That's step one. Step two is the coaching hire. Because
I feel
if
like-
Ron Rivera is not fired, I swear to God, I'm going to blow my brains
I feel
out.
like aside from this year, the Commanders have been more well run than the Giants have, and the Jets. And
The
it didn't-
Commanders
it didn't-
are
it-
the Commanders
it-
are never they're never like a 5-win team. They always like compete.
I mean, we had the second overall
Yeah,
pick
like
in
I
2020,
I
so.
feel like every other year there's like a chance they're like 9
They
and 8
should,
or 9 and
dude,
7.
look at the talent they have on their team. They should be they should have 10 wins every year, at least. They have
I
a
don't know
very
about
good
that.
receiving core and arguably the best defensive line in the league. There's no reason that they're
They
this
do
good.
not. I don't know about the defensive line.
What?
I have a question. I've wanted to debate this. Do you guys think that Robert Saleh should be fired this offseason?
No. No.
How are you gonna blame Roberts? Like I don't think he's
Let's
a great
think about
coach, but-
Let's think about it. Did he make the right decision by moving Zach Wilson to the bench?
Yeah.
Starting Mike White?
He 100% did.
Do we think that was the right choice after they had a winning record with Zach Wilson?
I think
And
if you're
also
gonna fire him,
we see Sean Payton is
Dude, I
looking
don't
at making a
Sean Payton is
return.
not going. Sean Payton is not going to the Jets. I promise you. He's not going to a bad team
I don't know if you want
Or
or a
Sean
bad
Payton.
thing.
Well,
He's going to
number
like
one,
the
the Jets aren't a
Saints or
bad team.
a bad like ran or like he's going to the Saints or like the Chargers or the Cowboys or somewhere who like they already have like a top quarterback and stuff
Mike
like that.
McCarthy, I don't think is going anywhere after this
No,
year.
no, no. I know, but I'm saying like that's where he's going to end up going if he in the future.
But
he's gonna
if you
go to,
see
like, a
if you
solid
see an
team.
offense, if you see an offensive head coach like Sean Payton, and offense is clearly
That's what honestly
a
I
point
think
of struggle for the Jets.
the
For
Jets should
years.
get Bill O'Brien.
I think you got to stop hiring defensive coordinators as coaches.
Dude, that
I don't
never
think it
That's
works.
what
ever
I'm saying.
works.
So I'm not
It
saying
works for, like, Bill
I'm not saying
Belichick.
he should be fired. I'm just saying
Especially
if Sean Payton is out there, he's an offensive head coach. Do you go after Sean Payton because you already have a very good defense?
No.
Well, they kind of collapsed at the end of the season, which is exactly my point. Is that Robert Saleh's fault for the crappy effort they put on in the last 2 must-win games, last 3 must-win games?
I don't think Robert Saleh
It's
did
something to
anything
think about.
atrocious enough to
yeah, I mean, no one
warrant his
expected
firing.
the Jets to be even competitive, really, except for like maybe you.
He also did it without a quarterback.
So I don't know, but like
I think
do
they're gonna fire LaFleur, who's the offensive coordinator.
I do think
that
it's
I
a
could say.
valid like argument that if you're going to bring in, like, I'm assuming the Jets are probably planning on.
However,
bringing in
I
a QB
don't think Sean Payton would. That's a
if you're
the
going
Jets
to
are a
bring in a
desirable
new
job. For,
QB, I think you have to hire an offensive-minded coach. The defensive, like the NFL has outgrown the need for a defensive-minded head coach. It doesn't like every every top tier team is led
that's
by
not true.
an offense like who
Yeah, that is like 100%.
besides like maybe Nick Sirianni, maybe, but even then, like
I mean,
don't
Bill
know.
Belichick, but like he's like
They're not a top team anymore.
They are not. Yeah, they haven't
The
won.
he's a
NFL
top-
has
he's a top-
outgrown Bill Belichick.
He's still a top coach.
No, the
He's a
NFL,
Pa- he's in the
but he's not
Patriots era.
coaching a top team. You look at the top 3 seeds in both conferences.
Pete Carroll.
Top 3 seeds in
Dude,
all. Not someone that's
sorry,
not going to make
sorry.
the playoffs.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was just thinking like playoff.
You look at even like the 49ers, like Kyle Shanahan has the best offense in the league without a quarterback. Like that's what you need.
Isn't John Harbaugh kind of like defensive? I feel like the Ravens are a pretty
Wild
good
card
team. I mean, they can win the division.
Dude, Frank said top tier teams and Sal proceeded to name like 4 mid teams.
Yeah.
I'm thinking playoff teams.
Bills,
Like, I'm not thinking
Bengals, Chiefs, 49ers, Eagles. Who's the 3 seed in the Vikings? These are offensive coaches.
Giants.
Even the Giants. Look at what Brian Dable has done for Daniel Jones. Look at what he did for Josh Allen. You can't hire defensive coaches anymore. It doesn't work.
They should get Bill O'Brien from Bama.
It could work if
Bill
you already
O'Brien's
have an
a joke.
established offense. If you have a veteran
it
quarterback.
really doesn't.
If you have a young quarterback, it's not a good idea.
But, all right,
but it could also fail. Like look at Adam Gase. He was an offensive coordinator for years, and he stunk.
I don't think Sean Payton would go to the Jets unless they had a plan to sign like a Lamar or a Jimmy Garoppolo or an established quarterback. Otherwise, I don't think it's a very attractive.
They're definitely going to go after Derek Carr. It's almost like
that's like my worst nightmare.
Like
it's almost
I'm pretty sure the reason Sean Payton left the Saints is because they had like a revolving door of quarterbacks. Like he said, he was willing to go back if they got like a guy.
They got like a guy. They're never getting a guy.
If the Chargers ended up not making the playoffs and that job got open, I think he would have gone there with Herbert. But I think
the Jets are definitely going to have a new quarterback in the room next year. It's my prediction is Derek Carr probably. It's either him or Jimmy G. Worst case,
I'm just waiting. Once they sign Derek
Minshew.
Carr, every Jets fan is going to post on their story like, "Hey, welcome Derek Carr," and then like week 2, they're going to be like,
"Let's not act like the whole."
I mean,
the whole world
didn't
know that the Giants made the playoffs. When the Giants made the playoffs, every single Instagram...
I mean, if the Jets made the playoffs, like I would accept that. I would not accept that. I would expect that. But like the Jets are going to hype up.
I'm actually very fond of the New York Giants. I think they're cool.
I just think the Jets fans would hype up Derek Carr to a point where it'd be like he has to go win a Super Bowl or he's a disappointment.
Sal, I have a question for you as a Giants fan. I'm assuming that the Giants are going to make an effort to re-sign Saquon Barkley.
I'm pretty sure they already
Do you think that's a good idea?
As a fan,
I think they play better with Saquon Barkley.
I think yes, but it's
Daniel
going
Jones
to be.
plays better with Saquon Barkley.
I mean,
it's going to be a bad deal in the long run, like for sure,
historically.
But I think losing
signing running backs never works.
You're right. It's going to be like a bad like financial move, but I think it's the move you have to make
to appease the fan base.
Yeah.
Like
losing Saquon would just be too detrimental to like the culture and everything like that.
Like as a Commanders fan, I'm praying that they re-sign Saquon because then they have less money to go sign people that are
I know it's not a smart move, but it's just a move you have to make.
Yeah. Take the Saquon money and go sign like O-line.
Yeah. Take the Saquon money. What they really should do is take the Saquon money, go sign O-lineman, and then draft a running back in the 4th round.
It's just how do you go to your team and be like, yeah, we can't sign this guy.
There's so many.
He's the leader of the team
in the NFL.
Yeah, you can't.
But
he is the Giant. Like,
yeah, the Giants could get rid of Saquon and become a terrible team.
Like it's like obviously the Yankees could have spent the Aaron Judge money somewhere else, but like you can't lose Aaron Judge. Like he's not. I think
that's a little different though, because like there's not a position in baseball that's as replaceable as a running back.
I know, but like him and Daniel Jones are like the face of this franchise. It's hard to just.
I know it's hard. It's hard to let them go, but know deep down that they can get the same level of production from a 4th round running back.
If this was like fantasy football, like we're like or like Madden, like yeah, he's gone. But like there's like a human element to it, and like I think they have to keep it.
Well, if you want to improve, then
I think Daniel Jones definitely earned himself.
Yeah. Oh, Daniel Jones for sure.
Dude, watching Daniel Jones, he's accurate.
He'll probably get like mid to high tier money. No, it won't be like long, but like he'll get it.
He's earned, like you can't even say he hasn't earned it. He has.
Dude, if Evan Neal pulls,
still give him high tier money, someone else will.
I mean, yeah, that's just like
at this point, I'll take him.
Yeah.
I would hope you'd rather Daniel Jones than Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, at this point, I would.
No, and if you look at the Giants, like Evan Neal could pull and Andrew Thomas and have an amazing season next year. Then you have two really good tackles. Your defense is already good with Kayvon. A lot of young
Oh
guys.
my
I
god,
thi-
fuck
I
that
think-
guy. Kayvon
I
is the
think we
worst
need
human
we
ever.
do we
Just
need
so
to
we
get-
all know.
we
Just
need
so
to-
we're all aware of that fact. Kayvon Thibodeau as a human being sucks, and I hate him.
bro,
Continue.
he just has like energy. Like he has like a spark.
I think he's fun, dude.
He's like awesome. Makes you smile.
Makes you smile as he's fucking doing
No,
snow
but he
angels next
definitely
to
he definitely
seasoned
didn't
Nick
know.
Foles.
He
Dude, he
definitely
obviously
didn't
didn't
know
know
that Nick
that,
Foles was in
that
pain.
Nick Foles
He
was
was
like-
looking at the sky, bro. He definitely didn't know that.
Whatever.
Obviously,
He's
he
the
went.
worst. On the sideline 5 minutes later, I put him to sleep. I put him to sleep. Like, suck my
No,
dick,
he put the
Kayvon.
team to
You're the
sleep.
worst. The absolute worst.
I
right,
think if the Giants are going to be serious contenders, there, they need to add either a cornerback or a linebacker in the defense.
Oh, I thought you said quarterback.
And a receiver.
Corner. No, I'm talking about the
Receiver.
defensive side. Obviously, we need a receiver. Like everyone knows, we need a receiver.
They should just cut Kenny Galladay.
Dude, I was like watching a video of Brian Dable like speaking to like the sidelines, and like he was like speaking to like the wide receiver group, and it was just Kenny Galladay sitting there like why does he still go to the game? I don't think he's played a snap in like
He's getting
4
paid.
weeks.
He's getting paid.
Yeah, he's getting
That-
paid like one of the best
Yeah, I
contracts.
guess.
All right. On
It's
to
like
Greg
so.
now.
It's so funny that the Giants are a playoff team and they have that deal. Like,
Okay.
Steelers'
Yeah, Shane.
entire season now relies on the Jets to win a game in Week 18.
Dude,
we're starting an injured Mike White. He literally his ribs are probably still broken, and
the
it
Jets
showed.
took down
Like,
so many people.
we're
There's
not
no way
going.
they're
You're
gonna
not
come
making the
through.
playoffs.
The Jets
I
have
mean,
never came through.
The
once.
Dolphins are starting Skylar Thompson, no? Like,
Yeah, like Dolphins are
Yeah,
starting.
but the Dolphins also still have a shot at the playoffs.
All right, if the
Just
Steelers make the
crazy.
playoffs, you have Greg. You have no right to complain about anything football related ever again.
No,
in your
dude,
life.
Greg doesn't understand. Like this is a bad season for him. Like we go through years where we're out in week
Bro,
like
they had the
6.
same record last
Yeah, but you were like awful halfway through the year, and then all of a sudden, like you're still in it week 18. You don't understand how lucky you are. Us having a meaningful week 18 game is like the goal.
you actually don't have a meaningful Week 18 game this year, but
Well, we don't, but we had a meaningful week 17.
anyway, yeah. How does it feel, Greg, that you have to root for the Jets this week, or else your season's over?
year. Dude, I'm always rooting for the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Loki. He is a Jets fan as like a secondary.
I will say, Greg, if the Steelers make the playoffs, Greg might be the greatest sports analyst of all time
Yeah.
because
You
he
don't
said it all.
deserve to
over.
complain ever again in
He
your
was
life.
saying it last year that the Steelers were going to be the 7th seed, and when they were fucking 2-6 or whatever, he never wavered. He still
There was
said
never a
they were going to
doubt.
be the 7th seed.
Dude,
And
he's
they-
like a Steelers fan.
I hate liking the Jets.
Dude, and if they get the 7th seed, they could like literally beat the Bengals if they play them. That would be good.
Or
I mean,
is Lamar
divisional,
gonna be
you don't-
healthy
you
for the
never know.
playoffs?
Well, they wouldn't play the Ravens because the Ravens are a wild card team too.
Well, if the Bengals, I don't know what's happening with the Bengals Bills game, but if the Bengals lose out, the Ravens would win the division
Yeah.
because
They play.
they play next week. So
Never know.
Just hoping I'm hit if we can.
Dude, if the Giants play the Vikings, like
no,
there's like a world where they win.
actually, I think you are gonna play the Vikings.
Like there's definitely like I can see like a way we win that game.
Like the Niners, like I said,
We're
when
not
I
beating
said
the
that-
Niners.
When I
for
said
sure.
the Niners weren't losing a game, they haven't lost since I said that.
Mhm.
And
Viking, like their defense is like
That
so
might be the
prevalent.
greatest take in this show history.
All right, it wasn't like that like egregious like they were obviously the
For them,
best
to,
team.
for them to never lose again in the
me
season.
personally, I've
Dude,
had better ones.
if you look at there's like 4 teams that are better than them and they didn't play any of them. It's not like they weren't favorites in every single game.
Yeah, the Giants are going to end up playing the Vikings. Because the Niners are just the
because I
best team in
think
the
that's a
league.
game.
Yeah, it's every game that the Vikings play, regardless of their opponent, is a game.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah,
fucking
like-
Pack. This was the
Oh.
worst weekend of football ever
Dude,
because the
wait,
Packers and the
wait,
Buccaneers are
wait.
both gonna fucking
La-
make the playoffs again.
Last show I said the Packers are gonna make the playoffs. So where's my my praise?
Lick my nuts.
'Cause
Dude.
it's like a Mickey Mouse
the
play.
Packers. Yeah. Everyone around them, they're so lucky that every team around them just folded.
Wait, do you think the NFL screwed over the Lions a little bit?
Yes, the NFL. No, they screwed over the
Or
Seahawks.
screwed over the Seahawks a little bit?
Yes, they screwed over the Seahawks incredibly. That's so bold that if the Seahawks
Why?
win and the Lions are eliminated before they play,
That's
that's so
yeah.
horseshit. They want Aaron Rodgers to make the playoffs so fucking bad. It's
All right,
infuriating.
But if the Seahawks,
explain what
Okay,
if the
Tess,
Seahawks lose,
the Packers and Lions game is on Sunday night.
Right.
The Seahawks play at 4 on Sunday. If the Seahawks win, the Lions are eliminated, and they'll know that before the game. So they have no reason to try against the Packers, and then the Packers are going to beat them and knock the Seahawks out. So because the Seahawks, if they win, the Lions are eliminated. If they lose, they're eliminated.
However,
so either way, it's a bad situation.
If the Seahawks lose, Sunday Night Football now is a playoff game.
Yeah, which would be great and all. But imagine you're the fucking Seahawks.
I'm telling you guys, the NFL is rigged. It is.
I actually, this is
Why
like,
Pittsburgh
this is
They're
terrible.
going to make the playoffs.
It's terrible. They
No,
want Aaron Rodgers to make the playoffs.
Teddy
so
Bridgewater
fucking
has
bad.
a sprained pinky. He can't go against the Jets. Skylar Thompson starts. You can't tell me it's not rigged.
There's like no way though that like the Lions go into Lambeau on Sunday night and win. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I agree, but even still, if the Seahawks win, they're
do you
definitely
really think a Dan Campbell led team would just not try to beat the Packers out of the playoffs?
I don't care who's leading them. If you know,
Do you really
can't
think
make
they're
the
not going to
playoffs,
try to beat?
you're not
Dude,
going
Do
to
you
imagine,
really
like-
think they're not going to try and beat Aaron Rodgers?
no. What,
you're already going to be like warming up by the time the game's over. Like,
I know, but the
be
second
like-
that you know your season's over, like a little bit of intensity just naturally is going to go.
I guess you're right.
It doesn't matter.
But Matt Stafford could.
They're
Go
no,
ahead.
I mean
Matt Stafford can
they're
return
probably
as
they're
the
planning
receiver.
on,
NFL,
like-
you got to play for jobs.
Nah, I
the
mean, I
Lions
think that
definitely
it's also
the
Aaron
Lions
Rodgers.
definitely know
Like, they
this
hate it.
situation, and they're planning on not paying attention to the results of the game. They're definitely like the coaches are probably telling them like you cannot.
I hope so. For the sake of the NFL and my anti-Aaron Rodgers agenda, I really hope that they don't.
Dude, Matt Stafford is going to knock out the Seahawks and lead the Lions to the playoffs.
I hope so.
It
I really
happens.
hope it's the Lions. I really do.
I hope dude. Aaron Rodgers is a nice guy. Like, I fuck with him. Like, he's so honest. Like, you just like. I feel like I know him.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know how you can. He's the worst. He's the worst person ever. Besides Kayvon Thibodeau, him and Aaron Rodgers are.
Dude, like he's like at the post game interview, like he's like, yeah, we know what we got to do, like the playoffs, and like he's like joking, like yeah, I'm pretty sure the Lions are like 500, like stuff like that. Like he's just so like
Go
so
back to
nonchalant.
season.
What?
Let's circle back to bowl season.
Yeah, we should do that. Everyone,
Right.
we talked about Michigan, and I don't really want to talk about it anymore. So let's just talk about the other games.
He hooked it.
Yeah,
What a
we can talk about-
Cinderella ending for Sean Clifford.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about that first, because just make
What a
Tess happy.
Cinderella ending from Sean Clifford. Penn State football is one big win away from a college football playoff.
Yeah, but
They just need to be Michigan.
They're
or
not
Ohio
going
State.
to make. They're not going to make it.
All
next year.
all right, we'll say one more thing
and
about
the-
Michigan because Tess said they just need to beat Michigan. Michigan is going to be the best team in the country next year.
Dude,
All
shut
right, at
up,
least
man.
they can't. They
Even
don't
if
win playoff
Harbaugh
games, but
did,
in the
even if
regular
They've
Harbaugh's
season,
gone.
they've literally never won a bowl game.
I know they don't win playoff games. I understand, but in the regular season, they're going to be the best team in the country next year. They are returning literally
cap.
everybody. They are
Isn't
going
like
to be
half
so
of their O
fucking good.
line gone?
What?
Isn't like half of their O line gone?
We literally bringing in 2 5-star offensive
really
line
think-
transfers. Like they are
I think-
not going to waver at all. They're going to be so fucking good next year. JJ as a
First of
20,
all-
JJ is 19 years old right now. As a 20-year-old junior, going to be exponentially
First of
better.
all,
Donovan
Georgia's better
Edwards is a
than
dog. Their entire defense is coming back. They're going to be so much better than they are this year.
Georgia was better
And
than
Penn
them
State's
this
not
year.
being this year.
Bama was very close to they're like
Penn
30
State brings
points
lots of
total
facts.
better than being. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I
There
don't
were
know what
teams
you're
that were
trying to say.
better than this
Georgia's
year.
losing their quarterback. Bama's losing their quarterback. Ohio State's losing their quarterback.
Dude, you act like they don't breed players. Like
I know, but have
they're
you seen
definitely gonna
Jalen
have
Milrow
more-
play? He is not nearly Bryce Young.
they still breed players.
Georgia doesn't have a history of having elite quarterbacks, and Ohio State's freshmen aren't always the best players in the country, especially with Ryan Day instead of Urban Meyer. Like,
As much as I don't want to say it, I think Tennessee is going to be really good next year.
What about the South Carolina Gamecocks?
I've seen
Like,
Joe
dude,
Milton
what's that?
firsthand.
What's their
He's
backup
not
name?
as good as you think he is. I
Wait,
promise you, Joe
last year's the
Milton.
last.
Dude,
Last
did
year's
you
the last
see
year
it?
with the 14 playoff.
Literally
Right?
just flicked his wrist and
I
it went
understand.
75 yards.
I understand he has probably the strongest arm I've ever seen. He, for Michigan, his completion percentage was under 50. He was
Dude, but
terrible.
that's
He
what
was
Harbaugh
so
is.
bad.
Like, nobody wants to play for Harbaugh. They
That's
want to
not
play for Josh Heupel.
Wait, is next year the last 14 playoff? Right.
Yeah.
This is the last
And-
year before the alignment.
Yeah.
The bowl season this year just proved.
Actually, I don't know about Oklahoma and Texas. Might be one more year before they join the Big Ten, but USC and UCLA or join the SEC. But UCLA and USC are joining.
Wait, are they going to split up Michigan and Ohio State?
I think they're doing away with divisions. Like,
What
I
does
think
that
it's,
mean?
bowl season just proved why we should have a 12-team playoff. Because, like,
yeah, it really did.
Emma and
Like,
Tennessee, like, obviously are really good teams. They're, like, up there with, like,
and
I mean,
Tulane beat
Bama,
USC.
Bama
Like,
like definitely could have won a natty this year.
Tulane.
Bama can win a natty every year. You can't just say, oh, because they can win a natty, they should be in the playoff. They didn't earn the playoff spot this year. They just
Dude,
did.
they lost by 3 like total points.
They
Pretty sure,
lost
something
2
like that.
games. You lose 2 games in a 14 play. You don't deserve to be there. I don't care that they had the most talent or were
Yeah,
maybe
no,
the
they didn't
best team.
deserve
They
it,
did not
but, like,
earn it. You can't
Yeah,
just
but
say,
that
like, what's the point of playing the regular season if Bama makes it regardless? They didn't earn it this year.
no, I
It was a
agree.
good
With
thing
that.
they weren't there.
It's like the Chargers last year. Like, they're obviously a really good team. Like, they're probably a playoff team. They didn't make the playoffs.
They didn't earn it.
But college football is based on rankings and not standings.
Okay. But if Alabama loses 2 games and all the teams in the playoff, the most games.
No. I'm not saying they should have got in this year. I'm saying they could have like easily got in this year.
Yeah. And if they got in, they'd probably be playing on Monday. Sure.
Yeah.
But they didn't. So whatever. Congrats on your Sugar Bowl win.
I don't think they beat Georgia.
Oh no, Frank, the Sugar Bowl actually means a lot to these teams.
No, I will say the 2 in the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl, when they took their starting quarter, when Penn State and Alabama took their starting quarterbacks out with like 5 minutes to go in the game, just reaffirmed my love for college football because those were such great emotional moments that you don't get in the NFL.
You didn't see Daniel Jones get taken out and all of MetLife Stadium chanting.
That wasn't
MVP?
Daniel Jones' last game as a Giant.
What?
Dude, but it was the 4 years of just pure hatred and
Yeah, Sean Clifford
disrespect,
has
all
gone through
coming
the
together.
same thing that Daniel Jones has.
Sean Clifford's
but-
gone worse.
But he left on a Rose Bowl victory against a really good Utah team, and he dominated. Like, that was awesome.
He would-
for Sean Clifford.
Clifford would throw like one incomplete pass, and like the whole stadium would be chanting, "We want Aller."
And like the minute the game was over, I texted all of you. I was like, "Let's go!" That was I'm so happy for Sean Clifford. Like, that was awesome.
Yeah,
And Bryce Young
good
too.
win.
Like,
And Tess wasn't there to support his team.
he wasn't in California.
Supported. He
Let me
wasn't there to
fly
support
to
his fellow
Pasadena.
class. He wasn't there to support his fellow classmates.
Yeah, other bowls. I'm mad we missed the Cotton Bowl, but I watched the highlights and that was insane. They scored like 16 points in the last 3 minutes to win that game.
The Goodwill Cotton Bowl.
That was fucking great. The Orange Bowl, I was wrong about.
Yeah, dude, you talked me into that shit. Like, okay.
Yeah, I forgot to factor in the fact that Clemson is dog shit.
Did they lose their last 3 games in a row?
No, they beat UNC.
Or no, they won the SEC championship.
ACC championship, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think the college football game has passed Dabo Swinney by. I think he's gonna lose the ACC soon. I think it's Florida State's conference to lose now.
Florida State's really good.
Yeah, Florida
Think
State,
Clemson's
UNC
gonna
probably
fall
will
off
go
the
up
cliff?
next year.
You think Clemson's gonna fall off a cliff?
They're not gonna fall off a cliff, but like I just slowly they're gonna become less and less relevant as the teams around them become more relevant. Miami, even though they were terrible last year, they still recruit better than almost everyone else in the country.
Yeah, because like who the fuck wouldn't want to play in Miami?
Exactly.
If
And-
Clemson gets a top quarterback, they could still be pretty good.
Cade's supposed to be a top quarterback. He came down his leg against fucking Tennessee.
It's not even like the quarterback. Like, their
It's
offense
not.
is-
It's the like they had like their defense is always going to be good. I feel like, but they've had dominant offenses in the past, and they just don't. All the offensive talent is going elsewhere. He's not even recruiting. Like he's not even recruiting the best talent in the state anymore. Like I know I'm biased, but South Carolina is out recruiting him in South Carolina. They are.
Probably.
You can look. They are. So I don't know. Clemson, this might be it for them. 12-team
Yeah.
playoff will help. They'll probably make it next year, but I
Do you
don't
They
know.
think
actually
any?
might
Do you think any non-power Power 5 conference team could make it 12-team playoff?
Well, one has to, right? Because the top
Why?
6 conference winners.
Wait, what?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't have Tulane made it this year?
Yeah. Well, Tulane would have made it regardless, but I'm pretty sure it's the top 6 conference winners, and then
No, isn't it only? I thought only the top 4 conference winners get a bye.
yeah, they do. But the top 6 conference, like the top
Who's the
6
sixth?
ranked conference winners.
Who's the 6th conference?
No, not the top 6 ranked conferences. Like, let's say, like the top 6 ranked teams
What
that
if-
won
what
their
if-
conference.
What if
So
there's
let's
no
say
one outside? No, what if there's no one ranked at one?
there will be. I promise you,
Really?
there will be.
Who
But
had it this year?
it
Who
would have
would've
been
the sixth
Tulane.
team? What conference are they in?
America.
Fucking American. It
Yeah.
doesn't. It's not about the conference. It's just like, let's say Tulane wins their conference and they're ranked
Oh,
16.
I saw a TikTok. There's a little bit of a concern for the new college football playoff.
Okay.
The bye, to get the bye, you have to play your championship game.
Yeah,
So what is the advantage? Like you're still playing the same amount of games.
I saw that.
What?
Yeah,
In
because
order
like,
in order to get the bye, you have to go play an extra game than everyone else in your conference championship games. So you still have to play 4
I mean,
games to
you're
win
not
an average.
necessarily playing an extra game than everyone else. Like,
Yeah, you are.
no, not than everyone else. Because
If you lose, you have to play 2 extra games.
the loser of that game could
You
still
have to
make
play
the
2 extra
playoff.
games.
To be fair, how many
Yeah.
teams that there's probably going to be like maybe like 4 out of the like 12 teams that are not going to play in their championship games that are going to be in the playoff.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's an advantage. Like you play one less game.
yeah. But like,
Dude, but it's also the championship games are a week after the regular season, and the playoff games are like 3 or 4 weeks after the regular
It's
season.
still you have to win that game in order to get the bye. And if you
yeah,
lose that game, you
but
still
like you're getting
there's no advantage. It's not like a real
no,
disadvantage.
there
but
is an
no
advantage because you get extra rest in between those games. It's not like like in
Yeah,
the
I'd be
playoff
pretty
itself,
happy to buy in the playoff.
Yeah,
in the
you're still
playoff
you're,
itself,
If
you're
it means
still
winning the conference.
you
No, I
don't have to
understand,
win
but-
3 games like next to each other back to back to back. You just have to win 1 game prior, and then like
Dude, because like
it's
think
a lot
if you're in
harder
the,
to win 3 weeks in a row than get a 2-week break and then win 2 weeks in a row.
we have to win 4.
if you're think about
know,
like Michigan this year, like they played Purdue in the Big Ten championship. Like that's like, would you rather play Purdue or would you rather play the number 12 team in the nation?
That too.
But they're still if they go and lose that game, then they have to play an extra. Now they have to play more.
But if
games
they
than
go and
everyone
lose that
else.
game, then Purdue.
Purdue gets a bye, and you have to
No,
play
not
more
necessarily.
games. Yeah, you
Purdue's
do.
not going to be a top 4 ranked
Oh,
conference
okay.
winner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you still have to play. Then you have to play 5 games. While everyone else has to play 4 because you had a better record.
Dude, if Purdue goes and wins that game, maybe 2 group of 5 teams make the group of 5 winners make the playoffs, and maybe Purdue still doesn't.
And now Michigan played an extra game for everyone else, and they have to play 4 more games. Where Ohio State just has to play the 4 games.
Yeah, but Ohio State doesn't get the opportunity
Just win your
skip a
win your
playoff
championship,
game.
bro.
You also
lose.
it's like
If they won the championship, they would still have to play the exact same amount of games as Ohio State.
They still
to win
play the
Natty.
same amount
Yeah,
of
but
games.
I mean,
they're playing
a bye
less-
in the playoff is different than like
They're playing a less intense,
They have a
less
bye in the playoffs,
meaningful,
while Ohio State
less
has a bye in the
competitive
championship
game.
weekend.
I mean, it's like getting 3 weeks off versus 4 weeks off. It's like
And it's also like they had the same problem this year. Ohio
But
State was
but then Ohio State would have more weeks off before the playoffs. than
Ohio State was
Michigan would.
1 point away from making it farther than the team that knocked them out of the conference race this year. Like they're gonna have the same problem regardless. Like someone has to win the conference.
It's just there's no bye.
There is a bye.
There's no bye right now.
No, there's no bye right now. So Michigan just had to go and play 1 more game that Ohio State didn't to get to the same spot. Like they're gonna have the same problem because conferences need winners. You can't change
that
that.
wasn't the problem with Michigan.
Can't you just do whoever's the best record wins the conference? And not possible.
Let's
what
just
if-
have a committee pick it.
What
If
if
we're gonna go to the playoffs anyway with a 12-team playoff, like everyone's included in that.
what if there's two 13-0 teams in the conference?
Is there no tiebreakers? I don't know.
If they're both 13-0, how can you have a tiebreaker? Other than
Well-
like point differential, which is a really shitty way to lose the conference.
I guess.
No. Conferences need win. Like you're gonna have to play a conference championship game.
It just seems like not an advantage, that much of an advantage to get a bye.
I still think it is.
Dude, in the play, if you
You're
get a
still
bye in
getting
the
you're
playoff,
still getting the same
you
amount of
don't
weeks off as them.
you get to skip
Dude,
an
it's
elimination
just-
game.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
intensity of the playoff game is going to be so much, and then you have to go. If you win that, you have to play another playoff game the next week. Is so much more difficult than
It's just you don't have to play back to back.
It's like if you play the championship game, you can lose and still get in. If you play the first round, you would
You
lose.
can lose and you can be done.
If
Yeah.
you lose
Yeah.
your championship game, then you're screwed because then you have to play 5 games. Everyone else has to play.
yeah.
4.
But if you lose your championship game, your season is not over. Whereas if you don't get the bye and you lose the first round, your season is over. It's one less elimination game that you have to play.
Okay, so just
And not all the champions are guaranteed the first round bye anyway. So it's not like
yeah, exactly. So like, what if
for
you're the
some
fourth?
conference.
What if you're the 5th ranked champion? Like you just had to play a full.
Well,
extra-
there's an argument that if you don't win that game, you don't make it to the playoffs at all. Like let's say
Okay, but if they don't play in that game at all, they should be in.
let's use the
Right?
ACC for let's
Right.
use the ACC for example. It was the championship game was UNC versus Clemson. Clemson, if it was a 12-team playoff, Clemson's making it regardless. UNC's not. But if UNC goes and wins that game, then they're both going to make it.
Okay.
So
I
that
think we're
gives it a
spending
purpose.
way too much time on this topic. Like it's not that complicated. I think South is making it like a lot more complicated.
Yeah, you're gonna skip a playoff game. That's
Yeah, I
an
don't know why
advantage
this
no
is
matter
so-
what.
Because you're still playing the same amount of games.
But they're at different times with different values and intensities. And I would so much rather play an extra game in December than in January or in
Dude,
November than
they
January.
also-
No,
So,
but what if
They
you're like a
don't
team?
play that many games in college football. It's not like the NFL. Like an extra game isn't gonna like you're not gonna like limp into the next game. Like
What if you're the
Agreed.
5th ranked team and you now have to play a full extra game?
Well, if you lose it, you might not make it.
Yeah, but if you don't play, if you didn't have to play that game at all, you're in. And now it's like
Not
I have to play
necessarily.
this game
Guys,
to make the playoffs.
This topic right here is exactly why we're not $1 million company.
nah.
All right. All right, let's go over the rest of the playoff
I
games.
saw this
or the rest
exact
of the
topic.
New Year's
if you-
6 games
if you
because
talked on like a professional show. That's why I brought it up.
we didn't really talk about Ohio State at all. And I'm sure Greg doesn't want to talk about it a lot, but
I mean,
Disappointing.
it's just like
They should.
it's like everyone on the internet is talking shit about the Big Ten and how they can't win playoff games.
They-
They were both
Oh.
like coin flip games.
They just folded in the big moments.
And like Mark
there was a
Harrison Jr. doesn't get knocked out.
Yeah. If Georgia the past 2 years Georgia doesn't injure the other team's best receiver, maybe the game's
And it's just
different.
It just
How is
sucks for
that
them.
not-
It sucks for them that they play Georgia. I feel like Georgia's definitely like the toughest.
Well,
team
they
to
should
play.
No,
they should have been
definitely-
playing
they
Georgia
definitely
because they didn't really
scared.
deserve to be there in the first place.
Yeah.
But
And like, how is that not targeting on Mark
no, I
Harrison?
know that was like
That was a clean.
You did call it on the
football
field, and then you didn't add it on, like whatever. But the fact that you called it on the field and then took it off, it's like
The plan,
What
the,
did you
the
look at?
Michigan.
when you call
the
that on
Mich-
the field and then take it off, it's
Dude,
okay. But when
dude,
we
the-
score a fucking touchdown
the
and they
Michigan
take it away
targeting
from
was
us,
so
it's
much
not,
more
no,
clear
that's
targeting. The Michigan targeting was so much more of targeting than the Ohio State targeting.
bro, did you see? It was
Yeah.
like Antonio Brown, Vontez Perfect.
Dude, no, it wasn't.
Dude, Marvin Harrison couldn't move.
It doesn't matter. It matters the intent.
all right. I do
Like
think
you could like pass out from like a shoulder. Like you could.
I do think the actual play itself, the Michigan one, was a lot
Like it
worse.
was. I feel like
looking,
it was a football
but
play. The aftermath may not have looked at it, but it did look like a football play.
the one
Dude, it doesn't
the
matter
Marvin
if it's a
Harrison
football
one
play.
had much more
That's-
of an effect on the game.
That's not how you call penalties.
But you
That's
can't
just
like,
not how you call penalties.
there is a
Dude, Sal, if you lower your head
Theme of
and you go straight
referees
into the
making the
target.
game about themselves and then not having to answer for
But
it.
it really didn't look like they were accused targeting head-to-head contact.
If there's head-to-head, is that not a penalty if there is head-to-head contact, though?
But wasn't it not head-to-head first? Wasn't it like
I don't remember. I've been too busy crying for the
It
past
doesn't
5
matter
days,
the
so I don't.
intent, Sal.
But I'm
I
pretty
don't,
sure
he
it was like
wasn't making
it was
a play on the.
accidental
He was
contact.
trying to.
Like he was going for the tackle and he like put his shoulder into him and then they like hit heads. Like is that not what happened?
Well, once you lower your head and you
But
hit something,
didn't he lower his shoulder?
He was also a defenseless receiver, right? Like he was trying to catch the ball and he just got blindsided.
I don't know, it looked like a
Look,
football
I don't.
play.
No one really knows all the rules of targeting. It's kind of a made-up penalty to begin with.
it's like when that Clemson linebacker got ejected for like hitting Justin Fields in the back, but it was because his head was down.
It's like holding. Like you can't like actually like write a rule for what you can and can't do. It's like objective.
No, you definitely can write a
There's-
rule for what you can and can do, though.
But even like offensive linemen speak and say like they don't know what holding is. Like they
I
don't know
don't-
what can be called, what
That's
can't be
because it's
called.
not police.
No,
If all referees call games consistently, then people would know what.
Yeah,
is the
it's
penalty.
not like there's a referee for every lineman that's looking at whether they're holding.
But no, so, like you can't like watch. Yeah,
I think all football games should have a referee in a booth upstairs looking over everything. I think that
you
would
can't
solve.
see that.
Dude,
No,
they
you
would just
cannot
call
see that. Yeah,
They would just call everything.
like there literally is a penalty every play. I feel like.
Well, again, the referees not being perfect is a part of football,
But
and it's a
Make
part
it-
of the
it's
outcome.
not. It's
It's
not
like
that,
baseball.
obviously they're gonna miss calls and whatever. It's not that. It's when they make calls that they shouldn't be making. When they make calls that are like, and
Oh,
they.
if you're gonna go to review, you have to make a call. Like
Yeah,
they can't
but
just back out.
That's what like.
They go to review for a reason to find what
In
happened.
today's day and age in football, I think they look and they try to protect the player more.
But
So
that's what they didn't do. They didn't
That's
call
what they didn't
targeting
do.
on both occasions. They just
wow.
Both of them are definitely targeting.
they call it so inconsistently in almost everything, and then they don't have to answer for it. Like if they
Why is
just
is there targeting in the NFL?
yeah, not.
no, it's just personal fouls, right?
I think it's just unnecessary roughness.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's probably the same.
I think you can get ejected for like an egregious hit. I don't know. No one knows the fucking rules anymore.
Yeah.
One last note on Ohio State. I like the way
No,
Ryan was on the sideline. He looked fired up. He looked like a different Ryan Day. Didn't look like his
did
usual
he save his job?
soft person.
Yeah. Are you coming for Ohio or for Ryan Day's job?
No, because I like the way he coached.
I think he saved his job.
Way
He could not have put them in a better position to win than
Also,
taking a
CJ,
game
I
where
feel
he
so
defended.
bad for CJ Stroud. Bro played almost as perfectly as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And
No,
his
dude,
defense,
that one play where like I think it was Jalen Carter just raped the guard and just went straight at him, and CJ Stroud just ducked under him and threw a dot like 30 yards. So
Yeah.
that was filthy.
I think that's why you should play in bowl games. Like CJ Stroud is a consensus first round pick. He helped his draft stock more than anybody.
Dude, Justin Fields did that when he played, and then Zach Wilson still got picked over him.
Well, yeah,
That's 'cause the Jets.
because people pay too much attention to pro days and combines, and they shouldn't. Because Nick Saban said it perfectly that they're fucking stupid. And you're recruited to be a football player,
Fields was
not
the
a
third pick.
machine.
Right.
What?
Fields was the third quarterback pick that year.
Who? No, Trey
Fields.
Lance was. Fields was the fourth.
Dude, like during like the playoffs, like the college football playoffs, it was like Fields is going number 2, like possibly number 1.
Why Fields didn't go number 2, I still don't know. I said it all along that he should have gone number 2. Makes
Like
no sense.
there were like edits of Fields and like Jaguars jerseys.
Because he's obviously a freak of nature and probably has the highest upside of all of them, for being honest.
The Jets got swindled.
They really did. Imagine the Jets with Justin Fields this year. They'd probably be in the playoffs right now.
Dude, they might have won the division.
I don't know about that. The Bills are still fucking good.
I don't know, man.
But they definitely would not have lost that second game to the Patriots if Justin Fields is their quarterback.
No shit. Dude, Justin
And
Fields
that's the
has
game
like
that
a
kept them out of
50-yard.
the playoffs. If we're
He
being
has like
honest, like if they won
he
that
has
game,
like a 50-yard run every single week.
Low key, the refs blew our season.
Dude, shut up, bro.
When we played the Patriots the first time, we were winning 10-3.
The
And
refs
we
ruined our
pick
season in
6.
2020.
We got a pick 6 to make it 17-3, but they called it back on a bullshit roughing the passer call on John Franklin Myers.
so
Brought
ironic that
back.
everyone else is allowed to complain about the refs, but the
No, I
second
just said shut up. I just said shut up.
All right.
Okay,
Let's
go
go
back
for
and
the-
look at it, bro.
Remember in 2020 when Dexter Lawrence wasn't offsides
all right,
and we beat you?
We're not
aren't they
talking.
all frustrating? They all suck when refs fuck
Exactly.
off.
It happens.
Sucks.
It happens to everyone.
And they never have to answer for it. All I'm asking is that they have the same amount of post-game press coverage as the players do. That's all I'm
They're-
asking, is they have to go in front of the
No,
press.
they
and
have to
answer.
hire full-time referees because this is like their part. Like they should get training and they should like they ref on the side. It's not their full-time job. They should go through like
I really don't think.
OTAs or like they not OTAs, but like they should have like summer training and stuff like that where they're working year round to get better.
Yeah. So fuck the refs.
All right, let's move on to our hot takes.
What was my? I had one. Okay, I remember. Should I go first? Give you guys some time to think.
Yeah.
No, I got.
This is low-key the downfall of Spitballz, is that we always never have. We
No,
never go into
I-
episodes with hot takes.
No, I'm gonna get one.
All right, I'll start. I think the Eagles don't win the division, and then I think they lose in the first round.
Is Jalen Hurts playing?
I don't even care if Jalen Hurts.
There
is
were no.
playing.
There. I really don't think the Giants are gonna win. What are the Giants playing for at all?
Hear me out. The
I don't
Eagles
think-
have lost 2 games in a row now, right?
I don't think Jones is gonna start.
the Eagles
I
are
doubt Saquon plays very much.
so. They're playing so depleted right now and such pussy ball that I don't like. They don't look good. They don't look good at all.
Pussy
They're-
ball.
Can
On
you
the
just say it's because
decline.
they don't have their starting quarterback?
And when they lose against the Giants, when they lose to Daballs,
Dude, they lost to the Cowboys by like a touchdown.
and then who'd they just lose to? They lost to the Saints. The Saints fucking suck.
Yeah, that was bad.
Dude, they have Gardner
When they
Minshew
lose to
starting
the-
at quarterback.
When they lose to the Giants practice squad this week and they're the 5 seed, they're gonna
That'd be
go
so
and have to
funny.
play Tom Brady in Tampa,
Hilarious.
and Tom Brady's gonna win.
Oh
that game.
no.
He just is. He's gonna win that game. So, fuck the Eagles. They've sucked all along. They're the most fraudulent team besides the Vikings in the whole league.
Yeah, dude, the Vikings fucking suck.
Fuck them. The NFC as a whole, besides the 49ers, sucks monkey balls.
Dude, the Giants are low key like the second best team in the NFC.
Nope, Cowboys.
Like
are.
tell me I'm wrong.
Cowboys are. But the Cowboys can't play in the playoffs either, so who knows?
Like that's what, like the Giants have that like playoff like 9-7 kind of mentality.
Who's next?
All right. I got mine. I've been holding on to this belief for a while now. I believe the Pac-12 is the best conference in college football.
What just happened in Utah?
Okay, but Utah's like the 4th best team in the Pac-12.
Yeah, they're definitely the deepest, but the top of the Pac-12, like USC lost to Tulane, Utah
Dude,
lost.
I think
to Penn State.
Washington and Oregon compete with a lot of teams. Like,
No,
dude, Washington.
Washington and Oregon are both going to be really good next year because they're
Washington
both
went-
bringing their quarterbacks back.
They had to play a bowl game versus Texas in Texas, and they like destroyed them.
They won, right? Yeah. No,
And Oregon's also very good. They're getting Bo Nix back. They're going to be even better next year.
Oregon State
USC
had a
is
really
gonna be
good
even
bowl
better
game
next
too.
year. Oregon State's always good.
So,
Oregon State
like,
went 10-3.
That's why I would say they're definitely the deepest, but like you put USC and Utah against the top 2 teams in the SEC or the Big Ten, and they're getting their shit rocked. So I don't know that you can necessarily. It's hard to determine who
I think they're better than the Big
is.
Ten. If you want to say the SEC is better, that wouldn't really. But I just think they're better.
The Big Ten West gonna be a lot better next year than they were this year. Like Iowa's gonna probably be good next year. Wisconsin made the best coaching. Wisconsin and Nebraska made the 2 best coaching hires of the whole offseason.
Nebraska's going to take a bit to get back.
But
Nebraska's going to take a little bit of time.
yeah, but Wisconsin, like I know Iowa's going to be good next year, and you'd expect Wisconsin to be good next year too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't hate that. You can make. There's definitely an argument to be made there.
All right.
I think the Jacksonville Jaguars win a playoff game, maybe two. Dude, they're gonna play either the Chargers.
Who's the 5 seed?
The Chargers right now, but the Ravens are 6, and the Ravens they kind of suck.
Well, again, is Lamar going to be playing?
But right now they're playing the Chargers, and the Chargers just like they fold in big games. It's gonna be in Jacksonville.
Yeah, but the
Like,
Jaguars
they're
already
hot.
beat them once this year.
They're just a hot team. Did they? I don't even know.
Do you think the Jaguars beat the Chargers twice in 1 year?
Dude, they're just like they're rolling right now. So like Trevor Lawrence, he's stepped up in big games in his career. No,
Well, he hasn't played a big game in the NFL.
I understand, but like, I don't know. I feel like they're
Yeah,
just rolling.
I guess
They
in
just have
college he did step
They
up.
just like have that swagger.
They have that swagger. I love the Jaguars.
Like I just don't see the Chargers.
I also
or
like the
Ravens.
Chargers a lot.
I don't
too.
see the Chargers or
That was
Ravens as like
yeah.
huge threat.
I mean, it would be Trevor and it would be both Trevor and Herbert's first playoff start, right?
Yeah, like it's not like the Chargers are some like Bills or Chiefs. Like they're so beatable.
I know. I don't know.
Doug Peterson's done it.
I think it's the
They've got the advantage of head coach. I think.
Dude, Herbert's so fucking good.
Dude, and he couldn't make the playoffs till this year. Like, it's not his fault. I'm blaming the team. I don't know. Just got that dog.
That's another one I could see.
All right, Toad, finish us off here.
Yeah, so I've had a really, really bad year on hot takes. Just a lot of bad things.
I think that's just because you
I'll
you
just
pick the Jets
say-
too much.
I'll just say that the Chargers are gonna make the AFC Championship, and maybe
So he just
Eh,
exact opposite of Sal.
there's no way they're
So-
beating. There's no way they're
Dude,
beating. either
they
the Bills,
just start-
Bengals,
Frank
or
said this
the
a couple
Chiefs.
episodes ago. They just started off really slow.
Who are they?
Herbert is very, very good. Their
Yeah.
offense.
No,
is,
wait.
Okay.
Sal,
Their
the
offense.
Chargers
They
are
have
a
so much
hot team,
firepower
too.
on offense.
You're
Hold
saying the
on.
Jaguars are
Hold
hot.
on.
Chargers are also very
Wait, let's
hot.
break it down. If realistically, they're gonna have to be either the Chiefs, Bengals, or Bills, right?
They could beat the Bengals. They can absolutely beat the Bengals.
Well, if they win, they're probably gonna play the Chiefs first of all. And Patrick Mahomes owns the Chargers. He owns them.
Dude, it's a divisional game in the playoffs.
Dude, anything can happen in the playoffs, bro. I swear.
Yeah,
Um,
anything.
Except the Giants winning.
I do think they're going to beat the Jaguars. If they end up playing the Jaguars, I think they will beat the Jaguars. And after that, I don't know.
We should make a friendly wager if they end up playing the Jaguars.
No. Speaking of wagers and such, me, Tess, and Greg all ended up tying in our overall game picks for the last 3 weekends of college football.
Are we not picking the Natty?
No, that's why I don't think Sal should be invited to our Natty picking
Yeah.
though, because
If I win, you will get it wrong.
we didn't even talk about the Natty yet. Dude, what the fuck?
Is it this week or is it next week?
That's on. We probably won't film another episode before then. It's on Monday.
Totally forgot
Wow.
that was like a thing.
Greg's gone or Tess is gone. All right. Should we pick the Natty now? I mean, I could like cut this and like put it when we were talking about college football. Like make
Nah,
more
it's fine.
sense.
Nah, it's fine.
All right.
Um,
I'm going Georgia.
of course you're going. You're so lame. You're so lame.
I'm supposed to try to get the
TCU
winner. Huh?
38-35.
Yeah, we're picking scores too.
Oh, okay.
TCU 38-35. They nail a game-winning field goal from like 45.
Dude, I was gonna say the same thing, but I was gonna say 41-38. Here's what's gonna happen. Here's why I think TCU is gonna win. I've been going back and forth since Saturday. Georgia had flaws exposed in them from Ohio State that a lot of I've been saying all year, Georgia's a flawed team. So I was like, no, they're perfect. They win every big game, which might be true.
They do. Did they not show up?
Might be true up until now. TCU also wins every big game. They might have lost in the fucking Big 12 championship, but that was their one blunder. They
in overtime.
in overtime. in a game they probably should have won because Max Duggan probably scored on that QB sneak.
And
Or
again,
whatever.
they already beat the team they played.
Yeah. They just don't ever like. There's just no quit in that team. They find a way to get into the end
No
zone
quit,
every
promise.
fucking time they play. There is no way that a less talented than last year Georgia team is going to be able to stop them consistently. I think they're going to go back and forth scoring all the time. And I was going to say TCU is going to win on the game-winning field goal too. I'll go 41-38 instead of
I
38.
think Georgia's
I
gonna
was gonna
tie
go-
with Georgia's gonna tie with like a minute 10 left, and Duggan's gonna just drive down the field.
I'm gonna go 41-34 Georgia.
Dude, I think me and Greg have the same mind right now because like I had the same exact idea.
Didn't you both pick Ohio State?
Yeah, and Ohio State should have won. So fuck you.
Yeah.
All right, where's Tess? We need Tess's pick.
Dude, I don't think he's coming back.
I think he's too tired.
I think he should pass out
We'll get his pick later for the gram.
Mhm.
for sure. For sure.
So,
You can
Alright.
edit his pick in.
Good episode, guys.
we'll make him send us a video of him making his pick, and I'll put it at the end of this.
For sure.
Okay.
Like right now.
Like now.
Georgia 31-20, baby. Let's go.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
See you next time.
Watching episode 19 of Spitballz. Bye-bye.